Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second series of the day for BTS Europe. We've got Team Empire versus Mango. I'm Llama Down Under, joined by the Wonder Cow. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well today. Happy to be here for this David and Goliath match, it looks like.
Yeah, just so folks know, Mango have five record matches in professional Dota that I was able to scrounge up, and Empire have a lot.
Yeah.
That's the
That
technical
that
number.
puts Mango at fewer matches than Empire has been represented at the International.
10 seconds remaining.
Yes,
So
yes.
the Empire between them have 9, Mango between them have 5
5
matches.
seconds
So
remaining.
definitely going to be an
Team
exploratory
Empire's
mission for
turn to
Mango. We'll see
ban.
what they can get done here.
Now they're starting out strong. I like this opening. Chen and Gyrocopter, both strong heroes this game. They didn't get the Venge. Always nice to pair up with the Chen for the push. But, this Chen can be ganking and Empire get themselves something strong. We'll see how their new resolution replacement handles an Invoker.
Interesting to get rid of the Brood Mother. She doesn't
10 seconds
necessarily
remaining.
handle the flak cannon damage from the gyrocopter very well because the
5 seconds
spiderlings don't
remaining.
stand up to that kind of AoE damage very well. But obviously, Empire
Reserve
do play
time.
that hero, so Mango just maybe trying to get rid of some signature heroes. Also, the Lone Druid ban out of Mango is somewhat
Team
strange to me. Since
Empire's
losing
turn to
Resolution,
ban.
Empire have banned Lone Druid in every single game except one against Navi. So Empire themselves don't seem to be very fond of Lone Druid. They seem to prefer to keep him out of the game. And Mango giving them a free ban there.
Yeah, Mango maybe just also doesn't like the
10
hero, doesn't want to
seconds
risk
remaining.
finding out that, hey, surprise, her host has learned it or something.
5
Also, with
seconds
playing
remaining.
with a stand-in,
Yeah.
Empire so far they have been running FN, who is a I think 7K
Reserve time.
MMR Russian player. I They have been playing him mid, but I don't know
Yeah.
if they'll swap things up. Sometimes that happens. Maybe he has a hero he really likes that gets picked. So we'll see. That's another interesting thing.
Right, when you are playing with the stand and you're playing with a communication disadvantage, but the advantage that it can give you is the flexibility that you can move him or her more easily throughout your draft. And like you said, normally a 2 position here for FN, but if they were to throw it into a 5 position to catch their opponents off guard, they can do that and kind of swing the stand and disadvantage into their favor for once.
Yeah, now
Team
we're gonna
Empire's
see the
turn to
Bane
pick.
band out. Always a strong one. And of course the Witch Doctor, someone that you don't want to have against your Chen. AA being what Empire go for. So
Radiant
they're
team
worried if a
pick.
push is coming, they want to make sure they have something to stop it.
Yeah, the Ancient Apparition is a pretty good counter pusher, especially once you start getting around those tier 2s. He doesn't necessarily do very much around those tier 1s, but in terms of stalling out opponents who get momentum, Ancient Apparition is quite good. And then you also have the Sunstrike Ice Blast synergy as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Team Empire just go for a Spectre. They've got the setup
Yeah.
for it.
10
I think Spectre
seconds
would be a
remaining.
fantastic pick here. Spectre tends to do pretty well into a Gyrocopter at most stages
5
of the game.
seconds remaining.
She's able to immediately get up close and personal with Gyrocopter with the use of that haunt, and
Reserve
by that
time.
point in time, the rocket barrage damage usually isn't enough to deter her. Gyrocopter tends to like to be far enough away from opponents that he's not going to be drilled into. He likes to use that flat cannon damage and the the call down damage from a distance, and then close the gap as his opponents start to rout.
Now, oh. Okay, they went with the Zeus and the immediate Spirit Breaker
Radiant
follow-up.
team pick.
I'd be pretty afraid of a Spectre coming out now. They have so much global on Team Empire.
Yeah, they have a lot of global. We know that this is a more experienced team, which means opening up the space for the Spectre to get going shouldn't be an issue. They have the Spirit Breaker to provide global vision as well, so you know where opponents are from the charge. You get that Sunstrike and Ice Blast before the Spirit Breaker lands, and the Spectre is just guaranteed some AoE gold, maybe a kill, if she
10
has Haunt up.
seconds remaining.
Now, Mango, gonna take some time here.
5
Oh,
seconds
we have
remaining.
mouse stuck on the screen. Gonna take some time here. I
Reserve
do. I
time.
mean, it's a hard choice. You do have a ban. You can potentially ban out the Spectre, but even if they don't have the Spectre, there are a couple still solid carries in the pool. The Juggernaut might come out, someone who isn't as worried about the Gyrocopter since you can spin in to get the Omni Slash off. Uh, I for Mango, I think they've got a hard choice ahead of them.
Yeah, for Mango especially, I think if they don't ban the Spectre, it's almost certainly going to come out here. Aloha Dance has played that hero pretty frequently, recently especially. But for Mango, it's not like they can pick up the Spectre themselves. They already have the Gyrocopter. Even if they were to put the Gyrocopter mid and support the Zeus, the Spectre, they wouldn't be able to open up enough space, and they would probably crumble under the pressure of Team Empire. So that almost certainly has to be a forced ban here for Mango. And I think the question that they have to ask themselves is, what can we pick up that will give us that mid-game push we need in order to constrict around Empire and reduce the efficacy of that global strategy? Jakiro is definitely a hero that can help
Team
provide that
Empire's
push.
turn to ban.
Yeah, Jakiro is something, interestingly, I'm pretty sure Mango is a Finnish team. Another Finn really likes to run the Jakiro, being tricksy. The downsides, of course, Jakiro is really easy to gank. If you don't start with boots, you're very vulnerable, especially up against a Venge and an Ancient Apparition,
5
who
seconds remaining.
Venge can set up the cold feet stun.
Yeah, this could very well still just be a
Reserve time.
dual safe lane with the Jakiro
Yeah.
as well. We do sometimes see it in that off lane, but in this case, with all of the initiation that you mentioned, you got the charge, you have the cold feet, you have the magic missile. I don't think a Jakiro would be safe if he's ever not near Bochen and Gyrocopter. He's just slow, he's not particularly survivable, and he's just got a big fat target on his back.
Now, the Legion Commander is the ban out, and this is something we've been seeing more and more Legion Commander picked and or banned in recent history. I'm really interested why it was banned here, and we can talk about, especially since it,
Empire's turn to pick.
it would be against the Chen. Perhaps they're worried just that the Legion Commander could get easy duels with the Zeus, but still, I'm expecting the Spectre. They might go for something else. It was the AM that they decided to ban out on Mango.
That's a weird ban, in my opinion. I don't know that the AM was going to come out in any case. I don't think that Empire have run anti-mage at all recently, if at all this patch.
10
So-
seconds remaining.
It feels to me a little bit like Mango are coming into this maybe not
5
as well
seconds
prepared in terms
remaining.
of draft knowledge regarding what Empire has been running.
Reserve time.
Once again, the Lone Druid ban and then the AM ban, it feels like they could have gotten away with a little bit less.
And they go with the safer Sven option. Always
okay.
a good pickup. That may have been why we've been seeing a lot of Legion Commander versus Sven with the Legion
Yeah.
Commander succeeding, but it is going to be the support Jakiro. We're going to be seeing Darkseer be the last pickup.
A lot of magic damage coming out from Mango Manians. Probably a pipe going to come out here for Empire if they don't just immediately take control of this game, which is certainly possible given their experience and their aggressive lineup.
I mean, their lanes are terrifying.
Prepare
Right.
for
And
battle.
yeah, they start out with smoke as well, so they are ready to rotate very early.
You've got at level 1 about 3.5 plus Chilling Touch will certainly latch with that. So you've got yourself almost 5 seconds of lockdown. Sunstrikes will also be coming in because you've got 5 seconds of lockdown. This Darkseer, I would start with like an Iron Talon or something. I'd be in the jungle level 1.
Yeah, he will probably try to contest for a touch of experience, but I would be very surprised if he ends up staying in this lane for very long. At all. If he's even capable of doing it. Empire should be able to harass him out. Whether or not they'll be able to actually get the kill on him depends on if he really crosses this
30
line
seconds
too
to
much.
battle.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting. Obviously, a good offlaner, part of your job is, for the best offlaners, it's to
Ooh.
disrupt the safe lane.
Yeah.
What's up? What are we oohing and ahhing?
This is just a scary ward for Darkseer.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt his ability to farm this camp, because that's an easy one that offlaners like to fall back to, hoping that the wave will push out. It's not great. But
And it just, anytime he passes that line of safety, his opponents will
battle
immediately
begins.
rotate on him as well now. So they are looking to kill him. That's what that ward tells us.
I mean, when you have 5 seconds of stun, I think I think that's your answer right there. Now, Zeus versus Invoker. This is a matchup we actually do see quite a bit these days because both Zeus and the Invoker are popular. With help, this Invoker should be easily able to win this lane.
Yeah, especially if Funnick is going to hang out here for a little while. But more than likely, Funnick is going to try to get a couple right clicks and a magic missile and then rotate away from this lane. At which point, I think Zeus and Invoker should, in theory, if they're evenly played, players, they should trade relatively even. Zeus can stay pretty far back and get his creep hits from a safer distance, staying out of the attack range of the Invoker, but not able to harass the Invoker completely out either. That said, Finn has been playing a lot. He's been playing a lot on one of Europe's better regional teams, and he's already being hyper aggressive.
Ooh, Funnick also just stole lost hit from Kapu, and that is really rough. Havo's taking some damage in bottom, but looks like he'll be okay.
Yeah. He really isn't in any significant danger here. The ice path is easy enough to get around as a Spirit Breaker, and he does have a charge away if anything happens. So without any reliable stuns, without like a Centaur rotating out from the jungle, he should be absolutely fine.
Yeah, and speaking of the jungle, they did manage to get the deep ward down over here, but again, as you said, there's creep RNG. You got to make sure you get the right one, and right now Chen is expending one creep just to try and help mid out with that tornado. While Doxia still hasn't reached level 2, still having to deal with Funnick being a jerk.
Yeah. This is exactly what you're talking about. He's trying to come back and contest this camp because he has vision, and there's not a lot that Kapu can do about this. What Kapu doesn't seem to realize here is that Funnick can see him on that high ground. He's trying to trap Funnick into the Ion Shell, but Funnick knows exactly what's going on. Oh, wow. And now he's gonna get magic missiled instead of getting the rune that he desperately wanted for the experience. They're both level 1, but Funnick is actually higher level, or closer to level 2 than Kapu is.
Yeah, Funnick having a field day there. Of course, the Sven getting free farm, that means on the top lane. And also AA having an opportunity to stack and pull, so getting more experience.
Despite the fact that Sven has a completely free lane, Invoker is beating him in last hits. Invoker has 16 and 8 in a one-on-one lane. He is doing a tremendous job controlling the equilibrium here. Just look at him on his opponent's high ground. Just dominating.
I mean, that'll happen when you can't feel like you can go out to any lane. Again, Havost, he has the charge away. He's getting pressured a little bit in this lane, but already almost level 3 versus this just hitting level 2 Spirit Breaker. Havost not going to take a Rocket Barrage because they don't have mana. They're trying to do it with just the auto attacks, but he has charge away.
Yeah, he knows they don't have mana too, so he can be pretty aggressive here. But the magic damage is really the biggest threat to him because he does have that stout shield. And without Rocket Barrage is finally up, there's going to be charge away.
Yeah. So FN again, as you said, having a field day against this Zeus. I'm not sure. We've talked about it before. We've seen how hard it can be for Zeus's to come back into the games with some stacking, with some space. The Zeus can get back in, but it's not a great hero to play from behind.
Right, especially since he can knock down stacks, but he's really just not that effective at it, especially since 6.86 change. He wants to get hero kills. That's how he really wants to progress into the game. He wants to just make sure that everybody is being tucked back so that they can get into the lane.
They're coming from behind on the Zeus Sunstrike as well, and that'll be our first blood. FN does take some damage. The Hadoken comes through, but with no more tower aggro, there's no catching up to this Invoker.
There's 2 seconds left on the second Hadoken. They could kill him with it.
Yeah, they'll try for it. Chen is there following the creeps. Funnick now has no magic missile mana. Chen, maybe if he'd turned for this creep, for this kill earlier, and no, instead just gonna go for that bounty rune, giving it over to Kapu.
That was a weird choice by Nipsu. He definitely would have killed Invoker with that. He was within range, he was within damage. It came up, and I think the Chen thought maybe that the range was not quite going to be there, or maybe aiming it was going to be too difficult. So trying to turn onto the support instead, but it ends up costing them a clear shot at a return kill.
Yeah, it also would have been nice for Chen getting a boost in those levels. He's doing fine in the jungle, but of course having to expend some of the time having a creep help out the Zeus in mid did put him behind a little. Oh, we have a Sunstrike up top, and one more auto attack will bring down the Doxia.
The other aspect of having him in the jungle is the longer that he has to stay in the jungle to keep up his levels, the longer this Darkseer can't go to the jungle to catch up his own levels, right? So this Darkseer, kind of desperate to be able to get out and get something done somewhere, is having his own levels just diminished by the fact that the Chen has to use every camp to his own advantage.
Oh, we have another gank going down. Sunstrike again. He manages to walk out of this one. The Cold Snap not coming out fast enough, and some uphill misses, saving Topsu's life.
Yeah, and the Jakiro's going to TP in. It looks like this will break down into a 2-on-2 for the moment. Funnick does not have a magic missile for about 20 seconds.
Yeah. It's definitely a little bit in favor of Mango, but hopefully having the Jakiro here will help salvage this some.
Yeah, unfortunately, having two heroes here and one of them being a Jakiro has all that splash damage is just going to give the equilibrium over Invoker's way. I don't know that they really have the strength of hero or strength of draft in order to actually dive the Invoker in the tower. At least not at this stage.
We'll see how it ends up panning out. I mean, the Chen has come out of the jungle once, tried to make a rotation. It was unsuccessful. There's going to be a regen rune bottom. They're probably going to have to take it so that Havos doesn't get it. And he does have a charge away. They're kiting him really well. They're going to get the kill.
Nicely
Much
played by
needed.
that Chen, getting the chain stuns from the centaurs. And because Havos kind of walked into that, it saved the Chen a good 20-25 seconds of rotating around.
Yeah.
They're going to try to push this tower, it looks like.
I mean, I think it's the right thing to do. They need to be making some gains somewhere. Funnick has come down to leech experience, is only level 3. We haven't talked about that too much, but of course both sides have a lot of roaming around going, so a lot of low levels.
There is still a chain stun opportunity available on these centaurs. So Funnick is coming in, or excuse me, Havos is coming in. I expect him to break off. He can't charge into those centaurs alone, unfortunately.
Now, Aloha Dance is behind their tower up top.
Jeez.
Very low, well, half health. So we'll see what he can do, if anything.
He's got 53 last hits at 7 minutes. He's like one last hit away from a perfect game. I don't think any of that is neutral game either. I think that's all lane.
Radiant's top tower is
Could be. I'm not 100% sure. The Zeus has rotated up top. We'll see if they can do anything. They have already blown the glyph, so this rotation was for naught, and they still haven't taken the bottom tower, although they're very close. They should be able to get it. Havos might go for a charge and deny. It's a bit risky. Oh, he's just going for the normal deny. They aren't going to get it. The cooldown going to land on Havos and a rocket barrage. There's the charge away, and they're not able to stop it.
Yeah, the Ice Path is actually really good at stopping the charge away. It's just not very good at stopping the Spirit Breaker in lane in general. I'm a little surprised that Jakiro didn't assume that there would be a charge away coming and save that Ice Path to throw it off to the side, right? But they still got the tower, they got the trade. Havos is already down 2 deaths, right? And Aloha Dance, while he is getting basically completely uncontested farm, he has only pulled about 20 last hits ahead of the Gyrocopter. So with Gyrocopter getting a couple of these kills, it's not as devastating as it looks. It's only about 1,000 overall net worth.
But they've still got the clear map control. When we look at the positioning here, Empire actually don't have wards out on the map, and yet they are feeling empowered on Aloha Dance to be all the way up near that tier 2. Also, a stun comes out. There's going to be the Sunstrike. I'm not sure it's enough, and now suddenly Aloha Dance in very deep. The Ice Path off the mark, and he's just going to walk it off with that Warcry.
Really nice, just duck and dive there from Aloha Dance. Seeing the Ice Path coming out, and he will retire into the jungle and get some neutral game going on here. We're still not even to 10 minutes, and he is almost at 5,000 net worth.
Yeah, he's doing incredibly well for himself, and it's really on Mango. They need to make something happen soon. They do have smokes in stock. Somebody must be carrying some, or they've already expended some apparently and had them not go so well. They're just grouping up to push. They're going to go all in on this.
They do have a push strategy, right? They designed this to be a pushing game with the Chikiro and the Chen, and the Zeus the Zone, and the Ion Shell in order to push up waves. Grouping up this early, though, is a very risky game against especially a more experienced team, because what you will end up finding is that their overall experience lead just diminishes because they're sharing it 5 ways, while Empire split around the map getting experience, even if Mango managed to take a gold lead out of this, which by itself is a little questionable based on the lead that Aloha Dance has garnered for himself. They will fall behind in experience.
Yeah, even if they lose all their tier 3s, Aloha Dance will probably have his blink up by that time. And then things get scary because he will just blink in, or pop the God Strength, blink in, Stormhammer, and rip right through all of those Chen creeps. And you suddenly do not have an advantage up against him.
He's going to go bottom. He already just split push solo this top tower, so he's going to go bottom. It looks like they are aching to make a trade. Tier 1 for tier 1, safe lane for safe lane. The Chen is by himself down here. He can't really contest that heavily. And Funnick is stealing his creeps in the jungle.
No, that seems to be what Funnick likes to do here. Also took a bunch of the Doxias. Sven going down, has the Warcry, going to help keep these creeps alive, and he's actually going to go cut The top tower should fall faster. They're actually rotating out. Oh, they're going for the kill in mid on Invoker. This is very ambitious. They'll hit the cooldown. Not sure it'll slow him enough. There's a clap. More movement slow going out. And the zap does blow him up. That's a big kill for the lineup of Mango.
Yep. Once again, the Chen really coming in there with the chain clapping, making sure the Invoker cannot get away. He did have Ghost Walk, but he didn't have it off cooldown there, so that's why he didn't Ghost Walk away.
And they miss an opportunity to glyph on bottom, but they do get the top tower, so Mango getting something out of this, although the Sven is still farming up a storm.
Yeah, and just knocking down towers at his own whimsy. I'm not sure that Mango can afford to be giving up this many towers this early, considering their one advantage that their draft is supposed to have is tower gold, right? They want to... Oh, we're going to have a charge.
Yeah, we'll see. Gyrocopter, they're going in. They will be stopped by the Zeus bolt, but here comes the AA blast. Tavost probably going to go down here. Finally dies. A nice ice path comes out, and the cooldown going to hit on No Fear again. Walking through the wall, unfortunately. Not so great for these folks. And now No Fear. Can they catch him out? Oh, but the Sven comes from behind with the God Strength 1. But the ice path manages to stop him. He hasn't quite killed off Nipsu yet, and they're kiting him. They're just running away. He's going to go down. Out of nowhere, Mango take a team fight.
Yeah, that was... You said ambitious earlier, but that was definitively ambitious. Jumping into Hellbear Smashers, notorious for their kiting ability, as a Sven without a BKB. Mango really managed to swing that well into their favor, pulling about 600 net worth back in their direction and preventing their opponents from pushing down any further towers.
It was a little surprising. Empire had already lost 2. Their Sven tried to go in for the fight anyway. I think he could feel that I'm pretty sure Aloha Dance was well aware that he had a lead over the Gyrocopter and wanted to take advantage of it, but as you said, just jumped in a little bit too far.
Yeah, no, he's got to know that he's killing it this game, right? Just he's been doing absolutely fantastically. This is better than an average Aloha Dance game, and he's normally a pretty good farming carry, so... For him to not feel overconfident there would show a lot of restraint. But even so, jumping into those Hellbear Smashers was certainly his undoing.
Now, they are grouped up again. They still want to make this push. As we talked about, this is going to be hurting their experience. Even just after taking a good fight, you can see their experience and farm going down because they haven't quite got the tower, and Aloha Dance is off farming. So they should be able to get this one, though. There is a cooldown at the ready. No wall vacuum, of course. Oh, actually, no vacuum because it's not skilled. Wall is back up. The cooldown pops onto FN. No Fear ready with an ice blast. There's going to be a swap to save FN's life. The Macropie hitting no one, but the Rocket Barrage takes out the Invoker. And now Zeus working on that Venge. Not able to get it, but Havost on the back line's getting picked off again. That is Havost's 4th death. Aloha Dance has an invis, but I'm not sure that there is a play here for him.
Yeah, he can't jump into this army of creeps and expect to walk away. If they start to split up a little bit, maybe.
Oh,
He's waiting
No
for them
Fear.
to split a bit.
Yeah, No Fear's trying to help set something up. He does just get enough mana for that Ice Blast. And, oh, if they take this creeps...
Oh, no.
We'll
He
see.
just walked into vision.
Oh, no, you're right. He did. He's standing there. They've seen it all. They get Aloha Dance and maybe more. Knowing that Aloha Dance is down, they can contest this stack.
Yeah, I mean, they can just straight up take this stack, and there's nothing that Empire about it. This has started to crumble far out of Empire's control. Really atypical for what you would expect in this game.
I am very surprised. The last games... Oh, did Funnick steal any of them? I don't think Funnick managed to steal any of those. Also, Funnick's going for an Aether Lens. There's going to be the stun and the Ice Blast. Looking not so great for the Gyrocopter. Does manage to get out. Sunstrike hits on Nipsu. They're going to lose the Chen, and now the Gyrocopter staying alive by the hair on his back. He's still up. The cooldown's going to pick off Havost. And somehow Gyro... No, he gets killed by the... pure damage coming out from Wave of Terror. There's going to be a stun. Folks standing in the Macropire. Chen trying to do what he can with his creeps, but a lot of folks are dead. No Fear should fall to this Ion Shell. Gets it. Will they find Funnick? The stun doesn't hit. And that's the turnaround from Empire.
Yeah, that was well executed. The AA ultimate not landing on Mark. It could have maybe saved them one of those casualties on Havos, but Sven wasn't even part of that fight, right? The Chen does have a mechanism now. And Mango's plan, I assume, should continue to be try to knock down towers, force these fights before your opponents are really able and ready to do it. As you mentioned, the Blink Dagger on Sven is a big deal, but until he's able to actually stand up to these Chen creeps and the variety of magical disables that they provide, he is not going to be able to contribute heavily to defending these towers without perfect initiation.
Yeah, pretty ironically, Sven, obviously a hero that does well against a lot of creeps because Warcry buffs up your armor so much, but as you've talked about, Chen just always having the right creeps for these engagements, and even the Hellbear Smashers, is that, I think that's your name?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hellbear Smashers doing such good work kiting. He's often had a Centaur as well, the Troll last time helping out, and will they be able to catch the AA? They've got a rocket flying towards him. They're going very far in. The cooldown will just tap the edge of No Fear, and the Ice Path catching him out. Another nice kill for Mango, who now, they have the kill lead, not quite the net worth lead, but...
They're going to finish contesting the stack as well.
Yeah. And considering how, as you said, this is very much a David versus Goliath match, there is... Oh, Doxy does go down in the top lane. This is... lost, I'm not kidding, just 5 matches on Mango's kind of professional record. They might have plenty more scrims. There might be non-ticketed games, you know, for smaller tournaments that don't have an in-game ticket, but very impressive stuff from them.
Yeah, they've been doing very well so far. They've made a couple of overextensions, but for the most part, the overextensions have been coming out of the part of the Empire. And that might actually be just that experience advantage Empire has coming out to work against them, giving them a sense of overconfidence, even arrogance into Mango, giving Mango a couple of fights that honestly shouldn't have been there.
Yeah, it could also be, you know, as we talked about, sometimes playing with a stand-in, sometimes trying new things. So.
Here we go. The missile is going to land on Aloha Dance. Nope, he's going to continue to blink, but that is non-disjointable, so...
I mean, yeah, they can't go that far, though. He is away, and unless they find the AA again here, I'm not sure that this rotation is finding anyone. It's very ambitious. Oh gosh, they're gonna run right into No Fear again. The Ice Path just misses him on the tail end there, and the rest of the team is coming to back him up. Mango still going forwards. Empire is retreating. Aloha Dance doesn't have enough mana here. The AA blast will only hit on the Zeus. The ult has already flown out. Invoker picking off the Zeus on the back lines, and suddenly Mango are split. They have a cooldown. It will kill off No Fear, but unfortunately they lost their Zeus for that.
Yeah, that's an okay trade for Mango right now, if they can convert it into a tower. Otherwise, it's pretty much a wash.
Oh, also Zeus lost no gold. It actually ends up being very favorable for them because AA lost a lot of gold. So.
Oh, did Zeus buy out before he went down?
Apparently. I mean, he was being invoked on with the Yules and so on. You have time. You know you're dead from the Sunstrike in the media.
He has finished his Ether Lens, by the way. Taking a look at some of the other items we already mentioned, the mechanism, we've seen the drums in play. Iron Talon has been out on the Spirit Breaker for a while, but he hasn't gotten anything in addition. And now a Crystallis here for the Sven, so he is not going for a Black King bar.
I was right there with you. I was expecting him to go something that would stop the kiting. There's going to be the stun out onto the Chen. The charge comes on through onto the backline, but already the Sunstrike is down the... Oh, the Ice Path again. How many Ice Paths have saved this Gyrocopter's life? Sven trying to come in, going on Nipsu. There's going to be a wall, but no vacuum back or anything. The cooldown helps out Nipsu. More kiting going on. Aloha Dance standing in the middle of so many creeps. Amelia is dropped the swap to save Aloha Dance's life, but he is brought right back into the docks here. A Zeus Bolt finishes him off. And this fight so far, 2 for 3 in favor of Empire. Zeus trying to help out his ally. There is going to be one zap. The Ice Blast to follow the Zeus ulti, though, finishes off the Invoker before he can kill the Zeus. And now Zeus fighting against 1-2. Woo! He gets it.
And they get a ward. And they might be able to convert into a tower. They do still have the Dark Soul Trumpeter.
Yeah, they, that was a huge big fight for them. That was a kill streak on the Invoker. Zeus just got almost 2k gold there. There is a charge coming out. They should be fight. Yeah, Havost cancels.
Even if he didn't, he would have been stunned out of it, so.
This is not what I was expecting out of this game. I'm very happy that this is not the one-sided affair that I was expecting. And I believe that should put Mango even, or maybe even in the lead, despite how well this Sven is farming.
Yeah, the Sven, honestly, the farm is only as useful as how you can utilize it, right? And he has just been punished in these fights with that kiting maneuvers, with all of the slows and disables that the Chen is bringing to the table, along with all these ice paths that you've been mentioning. There is Yule Scepter of Divinity up on the Jakiro now as well. His hubris in his itemization has really led to him being ineffective in these fights. He's been effective in smaller skirmishes, but that's about it. He actually has a negative KDA.
I think the Chrysalis is because they want to make sure they can clear through those creeps,
Yeah.
but now he's going to get Ice Pulsed up. No BKB in sight. The cooldown. Sonic does go for the swap. Aloha Dance is still very low. The Zeus ult has already been used. Ice Blast hits on 2. Aloha Dance has a rocket with his name on it. The drums being popped, forcing Gyrocopter to run a little faster, but no. They're going to be fine.
Can they get rid of this missile before it lands?
Yeah,
So?
it's level
Yeah, okay.
1. It doesn't matter.
Oh, is it level 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
He is a classic Gyrocopter build. You don't generally level up the rocket, and here he didn't have a lane where I think it was super effective, but if this opens up Roshan for Mango, they're in a great spot.
I'm a little surprised he's only level 11, to be honest. I hadn't realized that until just now. After this Roche, if they do get this, he will be up to level 12, but Invoker is 15 on the back of the Midas. Sven is 13, but the Gyrocopter, who has been fairly active, sitting at 5, 3, and 9, has not apparently gotten enough creeps to keep him level
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
contentious.
I mean, you
Right.
can see he has 93 CS at 20 minutes in. Unlike the Sven, who's been spending a lot of his time farming, Gyrocopter just hasn't been able to do that, and it's looking like this Roche is taking them literal years. They've lost a tower top already for it. Empire knows that they're in Roshan.
Radiant's top tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
I don't know that there's anything they can do right now. They're going to try to charge in, it looks like.
The
You can
Sunstrike,
see
yeah, the
Havos just waiting for the charge.
They have clear vision of this with the Ice Vortexes and the Sunstrike coming out. The mech has already been popped. The A Blast is up in 3, 2. We've got a TP out from the Chen. The Ice Blast comes in, and it's looking like not such a great fight. The Macropire, though, in the Roche. The Sages was snatched by Havost. Funnick going down. They have to bring down Havost again. I think that they can here. I'm not sure about his cooldowns yet. He'll have his charge up in 1 second, so he may just get on out. No, he's blown up, but he did snatch the Aegis, and meanwhile, Invoker working on that Rax. He's got the range Rax here, almost. He's gonna kill off the Chen with a few more auto attacks. Zeus comes in to help him out. Hand of God, they need an Ice Pulse, but Sims, he's out of mana. He has 1 charges in 4. He should be able to get them off, but oh gosh, now he's fighting up against the Invoker, killed off by Forge Spirits that'll just go back to poke on this ranged Rax. Zeus has to kill them. But nope, they've lost a Rax, and maybe more.
Top barracks.
Meanwhile, Kapu is being picked off by Aloha Dance. This is the sort of engagement that Aloha Dance is really built for, right? Knocking down one person who doesn't have a disable.
Yeah.
He's still not able to do it.
Oh
Maybe.
no, he's probably gonna... Oh, there comes the stun. He is super deep. He does not have an Aegis or anything. He does get the crit that he needs. He's slowed up here by the Chen, but they've lost the melee racks on the top line. Zeus is trying to deal with that. The global comes out. They need more auto attacks, and finally Chen gets it with the pure damage. But Zeus is murdered by the Invoker. And just as Mango was starting to look really good, they take too long to do the Roshan.
Yeah, that was, I think, indicative of Empire's experience advantage, that the number of games they've played, the amount that they have seen that same scenario played out over and over and over again. Their decision to stay top and just push down that Rax was the perfect decision. Contesting the Aegis, maybe not necessary. Maybe that contesting of the Aegis cost them a little bit, but it did buy plenty of time for the Invoker to end up getting the Rax, which is a very good trade.
They got the better trade there. We're going to see a DD. Oh, he's pushed out of the Sunstrike, but doesn't matter. With a DD, they're going to get this Gyrocopter, and all of that lead that they built up, Mango is back down to...
Poor Havos needed that kill anyway. He was 0, 7, and 7 before that kill, so double pushing out of the Sunstrike works in his favor.
Yeah, I mean, he had a rough time in his lane. Got caught out a few times, thought he could charge away from things, and then the stops coming out. They're going to throw out the Yules onto the Invoker. This should be... Oh, BKB being shown. So that is the 10-second BKB. And FN will try to tone this around. Throws out a Cold Snap. There is a charge coming in onto the Zeus, but it will be cancelled.
Yeah, Empire can take their time now, quite honestly. They have a Rax out. Their opponents are sitting at a pretty immodest experience disadvantage because of the amount of time that they spent grouped up, as we spoke about earlier and at the beginning of the game. The strategy inherently puts you at an experience disadvantage. So Empire will be able to get a farm advantage as long as they continue to just rat out and poke and prod. They don't have to worry about themselves being Rax if they don't lose a team fight. And Mango's entire
And they're getting turned around on the bottom lane.
geez.
Aloha Dance, 2 shots to Jakiro. He was sitting there waiting. Topsu now in a lot of trouble as well. The cold feet come out to slow. Aloha Dance isn't done yet, and BKB doesn't save you from his physical damage, and Aloha Dance finally has picked up one of his own. There's going to be a Sunstrike onto Capsu. One more shot. Tears right through him. 700 damage crit. And now Havost, he's here. He actually gets blown up almost by the Zeus. Has his own Arcane Rune on Havost. It just wore out. But that is 2 already dead, and a lot of their control from Mango and their high ground defense.
Yeah, they will probably try to poke at this, but they are all trying to heal up with the urn right now. And once again, they're under no prerogative to go in and force any of these engagements. Yeah, they will actually just back out, which I think is a smart call. Empire can take as long as they want to finish this game. The gyrocopter carries pretty heavily, but Aloha Dance already has a lead and should continue to be able to outdamage the gyrocopter.
Radiant's courier
Yeah.
has been killed.
And now the courier dies. I'm guessing it was trying to go somewhere in top lane and the creeps killed it. I'm not super sure.
I am also not sure. I
Oh.
didn't catch it.
Okay, so Havost has finished his BKB.
Yes. He used it
is-
in that last fight to stand up to the gyrocopter as well. And now, yeah.
Oh, no, Havost,
yeah.
yeah,
Aloha
it's
Dance,
just goodness.
Havost, and Finn all have
Yes.
their BKBs. Yeah.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense. This is very much a lineup for Mango where once you have BKBs, their lineup is weaker until the gyrocopter can get larger, which is going to take a significant amount of time. So.
It's all magic all day, right? The Darkseer wall illusions do physical damage, and the gyrocopter right clicks do physical damage. Jakiro has liquid fire, right? But that is magical, but it pierces spell immunity. That's about all you really have to worry about coming out of Mingo. So the BKB is coming out later than I would have expected otherwise. For Havost, it makes sense because he had no farm, because he died 7 times and hadn't gotten any kills. But for the rest of them, they just prioritize damage, prioritize farming.
And Darkseer himself, he's picked up a full pipe.
Radiant's bottom tower is
I understand it'll help for the AA Blast and against the Invoker, but I do wonder how a Blink would have changed things around here. Especially since upgrading to the full pipe, there are other benefits, but you get the magic resistance because now... What's it called? Cloak? It's not the cloak. What am I thinking of? Hood? Hood has a
The Hood of
active.
Defiance?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hood has an active. It's only 75%. Sorry, 75 less damage blocked. So sometimes just leaving it as that Hood and making sure you can get your Blink up.
Yeah, it's for his team, too. It's really for the gyrocopter, to keep the gyrocopter alive, since, once again, that's their only real physical damage at this stage in the game. Everything seems to be about getting that gyrocopter.
Oh, they're trying to give it a go. They initiate with the Zeus ulti. The cooldown completely whiffs, and FN standing there, not taking any damage with his BKB. At the same time, a bash onto the gyrocopter puts him in a lot of trouble. Havost shows up his BKB. Meanwhile, Sven has just ripped on through Jakiro. Is anybody going to escape? FN not quite in range of a swap, and instead they are going on the backline. Zeus very low, goes down to the Invoker.
Yeah, they got the gyrocopter out, which, once again, the whole game plan here is get the gyrocopter to safety when things go wrong. And Boker now has a Blink Dagger, though.
Oh, the
and-
swap for onto the Chen with the Aether Lens. That thing is so long. There's gonna be nice Guardian Greaves coming out. Chen also uses Hand of God. The wall forcing them to not be able to retreat that way. FN very low. Zeus has bought back. If he can get any of this Arc Lightning around, they've killed off one. Can they find more? Zakori trying to go further on that gyrocopter. So many people so low. He's just not able to find anyone. And the Sven is away, blinking out. Zeus would give probably anything to have his ult on cooldown right now.
Yeah, well, he'll have it in 25 seconds, and the Sven is, well, no, he's out, already CSing his way back up to full health, so never mind.
But that was
Yeah.
a buyback, I believe, on the Zeus.
Well worth it, though. I mean, that engagement was huge for Mingo. If they had lost that engagement, we would be watching the GG call right now, so.
Still, I think
Benj-
it's an uphill battle.
Yeah, it's certainly an uphill battle. That by no means buys them a victory, but it buys them a couple more minutes, and a victory comes out of lots and lots of those tiny purchases. The Venge is working toward a pipe as well, so all these BKBs, and now Funnick is...
Oh, they do manage to catch out Aloha Dance. The ult coming off of cooldown just in time. Wasn't sure it was enough damage. Invoker, though, looking to get revenge for his fallen comrade. Isn't quite able to kill Nipsu. Those Guardian Greaves doing so much work. They now have Invoker up in the air, but Havost is here. Kills off the Chen, and a few more auto attacks into Topsu will bring down the Zeus. He's still alive. Sunstrike onto the Jakiro. Going to hit. Havost needs the bashes, but Self-Fuel saving his life. There's the BKB, though, and it's not looking like there's a good way out of here for anyone. Cooldown has not been expended. Finally, it goes out. BKBs are being used. A vacuum back, but no wall. And they do end up losing the gyrocopter. A swap back onto Topsu. He'd been doing such a good job dodging, and he goes down. This may just be GG, since buybacks are only available on 2.
Yeah, well, one of those two is the gyrocopter, so they aren't necessarily out of it yet, but certainly it is not looking great.
Gyrocopter buys back as we have a GG call.
All right,
I think,
so never mind.
Yeah, I think that'll be it. And we're headed into game 2, folks.
Really well played, though, from Mango. They controlled the pace of the game a lot better than I think any of our spectators would have expected, right? They took several good team fights. They turned Empire's just their natural advantage against them in a really formidable way.
Yeah, really well played there from the lineup of Mango, but Empire win out. And we'll see whether Mango can make this second game another close one and maybe come back for a third. Once again, folks, I'm Llama Down Under. I've been joined by the Wonder Cow, and we'll see you soon in the next lobby.